An instant reaction to Thursday Night Football. That's right, riding solo tonight on the Rocky and Meisty Show. Thank you for joining us, everyone, for this instant reaction. We're fresh off of Thursday Night Football. A great game between the Chargers and the Chiefs. These two teams are known to be featured in some great games. And I have some thoughts on this game, I do, and it might be a bit controversial perhaps, but I want to get right into it. Now, first of all, I want to start off with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. Now, the game was close throughout, mainly one possession game until the Chiefs pulled away a little in the fourth quarter. The score looks a little closer than it was towards the end, at least, because the Chargers sort of got, not a garbage time touchdown, but a touchdown with a minute left, sort of needed to rely on that onside kick. Chances weren't great to begin with, as it was. And Justin Herbert throwing that pick six towards the end of the game really sort of put that nail in the coffin to give the Chiefs the division victory, a big victory early in the season, as this is going to be a very tight division. Even in week 2, these types of games are very important because this is going to be a tight division. And every win in this division is important, whether it's the Broncos or whether it's the Raiders. So I want to start with this. Now, Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes didn't play very well this game. They didn't play particularly well. You're going to look at the stat sheet and you're going to be like, what do you mean they did? Now, let's focus on Mahomes in particular. Let's look at the stat sheet over here, and you're going to see 24 for 35, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, mistake-free football. Look at a pass rating of 106.2. So you might tell me, well, what are you talking about, Rocky? Patrick Mahomes played really well. But there were at least 3 picks, 3 balls that should have been picked this game, and they weren't credited against him. PFF has him throwing 3 turnover-worthy plays from this game. 2 were negated by penalties, and 1 was dropped. Asante Samuel Jr. would have had a enormous interception towards the middle of the field, and he dropped it. And then even after he dropped the pick, he almost rebounded from the drop and on the second effort caught the pass, but it was overturned on the field, and in fact it was ruled that it was not an interception. So Patrick Mahomes really threw 3 passes right to defensive backs this game and was not credited for it. So that's not something that we should give him a pass for. He did not play great. He was throwing the ball to defensive backs, but he had the one big touchdown pass down the field that gave him the lead. That sort of offset it. That's Patrick Mahomes, right? Even when he has those bad throws, he has those big-time throws to sort of rebound for it. So we'll give him a pass for it, but it wasn't a great game. What I'm saying is that the stat line doesn't always tell the story. Now, with Justin Herbert, let's take a look at the stat line again. You'll see 33 for 48, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Again, doesn't look as great as maybe one would think, but he sort of outplayed Mahomes in this game, I'm not going to lie. Until that pick 6, which wasn't a great throw, didn't see the safety. Okay, fine, things didn't work out on that throw, but at the end of the day, he was marching them down the field. He did a good job on a good Chiefs defense. Just that one pick sort of derailed the game, and from there, he had to suffer the rib injury. He had to go out for one play, came back in. Didn't look the same, though. There was some fighting him. Made a couple nice throws on 4th down, some nice 4th down conversions on that last drive, but other than that, it wasn't a bad performance by Justin Herbert. The stat line doesn't always tell the story. So don't always believe the stat line just because a quarterback doesn't throw interceptions or does throw interceptions. It's not always his fault, or sometimes it is his fault, and it's not credited to him. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs come out with a big win. Another thing I want to highlight here is Chris Jones demolishing the offensive line of the Chargers when he sort of switched assignment to the other side of the line. 5 pressures on the day for Chris Jones, which led the team, and he's going to end with a PFF pass rush grade of over 90. Chris Jones was an absolute force. Little concern over there with the Chargers' offensive line. They're going to have to play the Chiefs later in the season. They might have to play in the playoffs again. I mean, this is going to be a team they're going to have to compete with for a while. And the Chiefs have a good front 7 going on over there. As they have a good secondary, the defense is developing. Upper echelon defense in the league now with Rashad Fenton and Jerry Sneed. Some nice pieces in the secondary, and and they drafted some nice pieces in the front 7. The Chiefs have a good defense. The Chiefs have a really good team. Are they going to skip a beat? I mentioned before. Are they going to miss Tyreek Hill? Of course they're going to miss Tyreek Hill. I mean, the guy's a game changer. The guy was sort of that player that Patrick Mahomes is able to rely on, even when teams are playing deep safety or playing too deep safety. Let me throw it deep. Let me adjust. Let me let him do a lot of damage after the run. And, if you look at some of the numbers today, the Chiefs don't heavily rely on one player as opposed to the other. They brought in Valdez-Scantling. They brought in Juju Smith-Schuster. But only 3 players had more than 30 snaps, 3 players outside of Patrick Mahomes on the offense, 3 position players, receivers, running backs, tight ends, had more than 30 snaps. The Chargers had 6 such players, double such players. The Chargers have a lot of more game breakers, a lot more game changers, except for Travis Kelce on the Chiefs side, a lot more game changers, and that was without Keenan Allen today. So we know that despite the Chargers losing this game, Justin Herbert Just an unfortunate pick six. Chargers did have control of this game for a good part of it. I wouldn't panic if I were the Chargers, nor do I think anyone is going to panic if I'm the Chargers today. And another thing I wanted to mention was that, we sort of saw the blueprint to beat Patrick Mahomes last year, and that was don't blitz. Because when you blitz, Mahomes carves up the blitz. Play the two deep safety, let him take the underneath stuff. The Chargers blitzed a little more than I thought today, although they sort of, incorporated both schemes into this game plan, into the defensive game plan, which I thought was very smart. And when they did blitz, sometimes Mahomes was successful, sometimes he wasn't. Sometimes they blitzed, sometimes they didn't. They mixed it up, which I think is an interesting strategy that we're going to have to keep an eye on throughout the rest of the season. A big reason why teams were sort of taking that two deep safety look last year is because they have Tyreek Hill, because they have Travis Kelce. So you're going to have two guys playing up at the line, and Tyreek Hill's going to run past your cornerback. He's faster than everyone on the field 99% of the time. So with that being said, they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. They don't have anyone that could per se take the top off the defense. Valdez-Scantling and McCall Hardman are good deep threats, but not obviously not on the level of Tyreek Hill. So with that being said, I'm going to be curious to see if less teams are going to two deep safety. Maybe mix it up a little more. You don't want to blitz Mahomes because he can get the ball out quickly. He knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball. Pinpoint accuracy. You don't want to do that to Mahomes too much. But I'm thinking maybe teams are going to try to mix it up and try to confuse him in different ways. There's a lot of different adjustments that need to be made to the Chiefs' offense. And if you can make those adjustments, I think you can be pretty successful against them. You just need to play... you need to adjust on the fly. One final thought for this game, unless something else comes into my head. Is Brandon Staley getting conservative? Because yes, he went for it on the 4th and inches. It was on the Chiefs' side of the field. I mean, I think almost everyone would have went for that. It was 4th and inches at about the 45-yard line. I don't recall exactly. There were a lot of 4th and 1, 4th and 2s, multiple, probably 3 or 4 times, that he did not go for this game. What's that result of? Does he trust his defense more? They did improve the defensive side, especially getting J.C. Jackson on the backside, Khalil Mack. I mean, they made some huge additions this offseason. There's no question. And it was a defense that was already, top 10, top 15 defense in football. Does he trust his defense more? Even against a Patrick Mahomes-led offense? Is that what it's a result of? I don't know. Maybe, did he get more conservative? I don't think coaches changed their strategies that much. Maybe he just doesn't feel like the offense needs to put up 35 points to win. And you saw that in this game. They gave up 20 points. 7 of that was from pick 6. They only gave 20 points to a Patrick Mahomes-led offense. They really gave Mahomes trouble. So, maybe we'll see Brandon Staley back off of some of those, 4th down calls a little more this season. He got a lot of slack for it last year, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Was he too aggressive? Was he not aggressive enough? There's people on all sides of the spectrum. But at the end of the day, there's no question that Brandon Staley was not as aggressive tonight against the Chiefs. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this, but on Thursday night against the Chiefs. But nonetheless, it was a great game, guys. And, we're looking forward. We mentioned on the podcast just a couple days ago that Raiders Chargers has become somewhat of a great rivalry. 6 out of the last 7 games between those two teams have resulted and ended in one score. But Chiefs Chargers, I mean, these are two prolific offenses. The defenses are getting better. Great rosters all around, really. Even with the Chiefs losing Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce's not skipping a beat in this offense. They look like they can rebound from it and find other pieces. Patrick Mahomes can find other ways to get other guys involved in this offense. With that being said, this looks like it's going to be a great rivalry. I mean, you got Herbert and Mahomes there for the long run. These are young quarterbacks that are going to be signed to their teams. Mahomes already has the big long-term commitment over there in Kansas City. And Herbert most likely will have it at some point or another. Hopefully, we hope that he's healthy, despite the apparent rib injury that he suffered today. But this is going to be a rivalry that I'm going to be excited to watch and excited to look out for. I don't know about you, and I'm sure you guys will be as well. High-flying offenses, defenses that are improving, great games all around. I can't wait for more of this personally. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Can't wait for a wonderful, amazing weekend in Week 2 of the NFL. Everyone, enjoy your Sundays.